Right. Good morning, everybody, again. August. The concept of governance dates back to ancient civilizations like Mesopotamia and Egypt, where record keeping and financial management were essential for running the state. Scribes in these civilizations can be considered the earliest bookkeepers. With the rise of cryptocurrencies and blockchain, governance is evolving rapidly. Blockchain technology offers new possibilities for transparent and secure financial transactions, potentially transforming the way accountants and bookkeepers manage financial records. The UK has some of the strictest governance and transparency requirements for businesses. For example, the Companies Act of 2006 requires directors to prepare and file annual financial statements, ensuring that companies operate with a high level of transparency and accountability. The double entry bookkeeping system introduced by Luca Pacioli in the 15th century is often considered one of the greatest governance innovations. It provided a clear and systematic way to track finances, laying the foundation for modern financial reporting and corporate governance. We are excited to... right. So, we're now moving on to our first speaker, who is Aidan. So we are excited to announce our first speaker, Aidan, from Coconut by Go Simple Tax. Regulars will recognise him because he's been here before. Aidan is a valued partner of the IAB and will be discussing Go Simple Tax's recent acquisition of Coconut, highlighting how this integration will benefit IAB members. His session will also cover the latest updates on Making Tax Digital for income tax self-assessment. Aidan's presentation aims to provide you with up-to-date knowledge on MTD for ITSA and demonstrate the advantages of Coconut, ensuring you have the tools and information needed to leverage these developments effectively. Over to you, Aidan.
Perfect, thank you, Caroline.
Nice to see you again.
Let's see, the host isn't allowing multiple presenters to share their screen.
Ah, right, sorry. There, you should be able to now.
There we go. Let's just make sure we're sharing the right thing. And you should be able to see a Coconut slide now. Is that right? Can everyone see that?
Yes, Coconut by Simple Tax, the new way to manage your self-employed clients.
There we go. Do you want to do the rest of the the presentation for me, Caroline?
No, you are right. I'll let you read it. I'm going to mute myself in a minute.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So, so Coconut is basically a new acquisition by Go Simple Tax just over 12 months ago. And we're going to do a presentation now just to see what the features of Coconut are, how it will benefit you and your clients. And then we're going to do a little MTD update because there's not too much to update from last time we spoke, I don't think. But we will touch on that as we go through. Later on, I'll introduce Ellis, who is the account manager on Coconut. So anybody who does book in for a demo will end up speaking with Ellis at some point. So let's continue. So first of all, what is Coconut? So basically, Coconut is an all-in-one app that you and your client can use for bookkeeping. In an industry where minutes are pretty sparse and every minute counts, you should encourage your clients to use software that works for you as well as them. So how will Coconut work for your clients? Basically, Coconut allows for open banking feeds that automatically download your client's transactions and then suggest relevant categories for them to reconcile the expenses to, therefore taking the burden of bookkeeping sort of out of your hands and out of theirs. It pushes things into category suggestions, but they're not always right. So it's not like we're taking you out of a job or anything, but it gives your clients an idea of where they might put it. I don't know about you, but working in accountancy for over 10 years now, the most common question I used to get off clients was, I've just bought this, where do I put it? And it's like, doesn't really matter. Put it somewhere and I'll correct it if it's wrong. I don't know about whether you get the same questions, but literally that used to be the most common question I used to get. And every time I used to just have a little giggle to myself, take a deep breath and then reply. So yeah, it's a all-in-one tool, like I say, for bookkeeping. What else does it do? Well, it's got a receipt management system. So obviously with digital record keeping being a requirement for MTD, I mentioned MTD already, but everyone's excited about that. It's receipt management, so you can take a snap of a receipt, attach it to a transaction, and then that gets basically stored within the app. And it follows HMRC's requirements for that digital record keeping. It's also got invoice creation tools whereby you can create a little template of an invoice, send it out to clients, and then you'll also get notifications of when it's sent and when it's paid, etc., all within the app. So your client really can focus on their business whilst Coconut does the rest. So it is a very, very good software or app, which we'll come into in a bit more detail. So just giving a little bit more on that. So open banking connections, I'm sure that most of you are probably aware, but open banking, you will log into, or your client would create an account on Coconut. They would basically link their bank account to Coconut, and it then would download transactions. I believe it's 4 times per day, or every time they log in. And it will basically download all the transactions from the bank that's connected, and then it will suggest categories for those expenses. If the client doesn't have a specific business bank account, then they can mark it as a mixed bank account, and then it will be a bit more heavily reliant on the client then to mark things as business expenses as they go through. But at least you've got that distinguishing account type of a mixed rather than just solely business. So you can track expenses, you can mark it as personal, business, or split it. You can also make manual adjustments in those or in Coconut for anything that is outside of the bank account, anything that's paid in cash, for example, and then you can take a snap of the cash receipt and upload it onto the system. Like I said, it has an invoice management system whereby you can create invoices, send invoices, follow up on invoices, and they also are shown as unpaid or paid or draft if not being sent. Another helpful thing for your client to basically take that annoying question away from you is when you log into Coconut and you are going through the expenses categories and basically choosing which one's relevant for this expense, every single line or every single option has got a little eye icon whereby it has some sort of description. So on the screen there, you can see that it's got expense guidance for bank fees, and basically what you would include in there would be the cost of banking services and are tax deductible. And that is pretty much an example of one of many on Coconut. So that is pretty much the features that are the main features of Coconut for the actual client itself. So we'll be focusing on those first, and then as we progress into this presentation, it will then go into the accountant management side of things. So at the moment now we're just focusing on what benefits your client and basically how you could look to give this to your client. So who uses Coconut? Well, basically sole traders and landlords are our main users. However, there are some limited companies on there as well. So it's not limited in that factor, but it is solely for the sole traders and landlords, the smaller clients that you might have, and those that will fall into MTD. So Coconut is used by a variety of different users, mainly sole traders and landlords. Having the time-saving features that we've already discussed, it has been adopted by many as their favourite bookkeeping app on the go. It is an app on both Android and on iOS, and it also has a web version as well. So out and about, you get a receipt, you can take a picture of it and you can upload it to the app on the go. Once they get home, go onto the web and then manage it from the web as well. So we actually asked one of our long-term users why she liked Coconut, and she liked how easy it was to use when she first started using it. She liked the tax saving suggestion page that allows you to direct your clients into that onto that page and basically say, at this moment in time, your profits are X, Y, or Z, and therefore from that you would expect to save X tax in relation to that profit. it's a very good feature that a lot of people do usually give feedback on, saying that's actually helped them with saving some money towards their tax in advance, which is what we always encourage, or what I've always encouraged on previous presentations to yourselves, to encourage your clients to always plan for the future. So these features that we've mentioned and what you can see on the screen at the moment are all readily available as soon as they sign up. So it is definitely something that I would suggest asking your clients to take a look at. So what are we always struggling for in the accountancy and bookkeeping industry? It is time. So why not implement Coconut in your practice or with your clients, basically to save some time on the bookkeeping side of things, and then you can give more in other aspects of their business. And from people, i.e. direct users, we get great feedback all the time. And then we do work with quite a few accountants, which you'll see the numbers on one of the later slides on why they basically choose and use Coconut. So there we go. Didn't have to wait too long for that one, did you, to see the numbers involved? So basically, it's been proven beneficial to over 200 accountants already who are using Coconut with their clients. And we've got over 10,000 users all in all, quite a little bit over 10,000 users, but I thought we'd be modest there with that one. We've got 9,500 sole traders. We've got just over 2,500 landlords. We've got roughly 5,000 limited companies. And to date, there's been over 7 million transactions reconciled. So there's a fair whack in terms of numbers involved with Coconut. Like I say, it's all on an app and it's easy to use. So it would be something that you should consider. So why Coconut? Well, considering all the information already mentioned on the previous slides that you'll benefit from, both you and your clients, there is also a benefit to you. So now we're moving on to you as the bookkeeper, you as the accountant, and how this is going to benefit you now. So it's an intuitive user interface as you're going through the client portal, or even when you go in and view your client's records. You've got client management screens available to you as accountants or bookkeepers, and then Coconut will also allow you to manage all your clients in one place and have access to real-time information. I don't know how, too many clicks there. Bear with me. Yeah. So I don't know how or what you use at the moment, but I'm pretty sure that not everyone will be or will have real-time information available to them. So basically choosing Coconut and working with us at Coconut should allow you to get a lot more clients in that real-time information bubble, especially again with MTD coming in at some point. You're going to need that quarterly at the very least. So why not have it in real time on the day? So there's that. A benefit of Coconut as well is that for those that have been on previous things with me before with Go Simple Tax, Go Simple Tax also comes free. So previously, Go Simple Tax was a sole product on its own. We obviously acquired Coconut, and we've decided that Coconut's going to be our software for MTD and going forward. So we're going to basically integrate Go Simple Tax and Coconut together. So for the current offer of those accountants and bookkeepers signing up and getting their clients on Coconut, Go Simple Tax does come free for all clients. So that is definitely something that you should consider. So you'll notice that we've got a couple of quotes as well on the screen as we're going through with Elle Stevens, who is an accountant that we work very closely with at Coconut. She has, I believe, 200 clients. Alice can probably confirm this a little bit later on, but I believe she's got 200 or more clients on Coconut. And Elle's quote here is, rather than being reactive, we can deliver a much more proactive service with real-time advice. Coconut opens up the possibility of significant revenue growth. So that's just something to bear in mind as we progress. So, hot topic, as always, making tax digital. Always, always, always requested on these presentations. So if everyone's got a pen and paper ready, rather than having it on the screen and just reading off the screen, I'm going to just give a quick overview of where we're at the moment. For those that were on the previous call with me and we did a little bit of an update, it's not changed too much from then. But in terms of MTD, we are coming in from April 26, and it's for those clients that you've got with combined turnover, that's turnover from their business and their rental properties of 50,000 or more. They'll fall into MTD straight away, meaning quarterly returns will be required. Previously, there was something called an end of period statement, but that's no longer a formal requirement. So now we're just looking at quarterly returns, and then there'll be that final declaration at the end of the year with all other income, interest, and all the foreign income, etc. That will be on the final declaration. It is worth noting that those quarterly updates or quarterly returns that we've mentioned previously, there will be they will be on a cumulative basis now, rather than what was previously standalone quarters, and HMRC would adjust and expect you to submit any amendments for any wrong entries. It's now cumulative, so anything that you forgot to include in the previous quarter, or anything that you've added too much of in the previous quarter, on the next quarter, don't go back and end anything. It's just cumulative now, so you just update it as you're going along. This was from feedback from, I believe, Xero and some accountants that are working close with HMRC. So hopefully that is a welcome change for yourselves.
Can I just say that to your 15-minute warning, Aidan?
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
Agents will need an agent services account to supply updates on behalf of their clients. So make sure that you're fully registered with HMRC prior to this. Like I mentioned previously, Coconut will be our solution to MTD, covering all the submission requirements within the app or on the web. So make sure we are proactive with getting Coconut now. Like I've just said there, MTD isn't that different to what we've already expected. April 27, you'll get the combined income of 30,000 or more. So that will drop more clients into the MTD regime. And basically, as Coconut is going to be our answer to MTD, it would probably be worth listening to our account manager, Ellis, who I'm going to pass you over in a second. But first, just let you know that IIB members will benefit from free accountants portal and complimentary seamless client onboarding, and their own dedicated account manager, as well as GST free for their clients. They'll also get a discount on price, which I shall let Ellis talk about for the last few minutes.
Hi there, I'm Ellis, the account manager at Coconut. It's nice to meet everybody.
Morning, Ellis.
Morning. I know you all know Aidan, but yeah, I've recently joined Coconut, so nice to sort of meet everybody for first time around. So yeah, sort of difference that we've got from your other accounting partners is that you will get a dedicated point of contact, most likely to be me, and then we will sort of add that on to other people as we sort of grow. We've got a dedicated technical support team who are able to walk you through every single feature and do a lot of demos and also training for you and also your team. If you need any help with onboarding of your clients, we can also offer that as well. We've also got the pricing, which I think Aidan needs to move on. So this is our sort of new pricing moving forward. We are doing something called a tiered-based system. So the more clients that you add, the bigger discounts that you get. So if you are doing a fixed term agreement, so agreeing to keep the client with us for a year, you will already get a discounted price. And then again, the more clients you add, the cheaper they get. The good thing about everybody on this call is you also get an extra 10% off on top of all the prices on screen. So it really does pay for itself with time saved as well alongside it.
Thank you, Ellis. Thank you very much. So obviously this is Coconut. This is probably the first time you've heard about it properly. You can see the prices on the screen here for our partners. If you are interested in becoming a partner, we have got a QR code on screen now, which will allow you to book in a meeting with yourself, is it, Alice?
Yes, so it'll be a call with me. From there, the process would be getting you booked in for a demonstration. Once you found out a little bit more about it, I can run through if it'd fit through for your clients and things over the phone. And then from that, you'll then get booked in for a demonstration and we can go from there.
Perfect. So yeah, if you want to jump in on there and just scan the QR code now, get booked in with Ellis, and then you can find out more about how Coconut can work for you and your practice in regards to that client management and bookkeeping side of things.
If you
I've
scan
also
it now,
sent
can you come back to it later?
I've sent a type form into the chat as well, link to it. So if anyone misses it on the screen today or hasn't got the phone handy, in the chat there will be a link to the type form, which will come directly through to me, and I will give you a call off the back of that.
I love links in chat because I have to. Excellent. So the link is getcoconut.typeform.com/TZ20/IQPODCMV. So there's the link. Question for you. I don't know which one of you wants to answer it. Does the software allow for VAT registered businesses? It will do, won't it, if it does limited?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It's got VAT on there, and also we've also then got the VAT spreadsheet to bridge it over into a software as well later on.
Excellent. Does it do capital gains?
It does not do capital gains. I mean, you can record them if
Simple Tax does capital gains though, doesn't it?
yeah, the capital gains page will be on Go Simple Tax, but if you've got income coming in for that, then you can mark it in a category for that, and then we can look at that later online.
All right, excellent. Well, there's no other questions coming in, so thank you very much.
No worries. No
See you
worries.
again, Aidan. Nice to meet you, Ellis.
Lovely to meet you guys.
I'm
Perfect.
sure we'll see you both again.
Yep. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our second speaker this morning is Matt Chapman, who's the Commercial Director at Company Protection, another esteemed partner of the IAB. Matt will be sharing insights from their recent experiences and the subsequent changes they've implemented. His session will focus on how these improvements are designed to simplify the process for bookkeepers to refer their clients and increase their income. Matt's goal is to ensure that you leave with a clear understanding of who to refer to Company Protection and why these referrals are beneficial and the streamlined process for making them. Good morning, Matt. Are you there?
Good morning. Well, that was a very fancy introduction.
Are you all right? Well,
yeah, like that very much. Thank you very much.
good.
Good
Nice
morning
to
to
see
everyone.
you again.
Nice to see you.
Another speaker we've had before.
I know. How's things? You all good? Hope
Yeah,
so.
good, thank you. Yeah, are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I've just got back up a holiday in Spain, so a little bit lightheaded and a bit tired, but excited to be here as usual. But there you go.
All right, excellent. So, as again, I'll give you a 15-minute warning, just like you've
Brilliant.
spoken.
Don't worry. I'm sure everyone doesn't want to hear me drone on for about 15-20 minutes, so I'll try and keep it fairly brief. We'll keep it super simple, but yeah, hopefully give people a little bit of time back towards the end. But again, thanks so much for having me on, guys. I'm sure you guys know what we do. So those of you don't, we're Company Protection. So we specialize in what we call business protection solutions. So the general idea there is trying to make organizations, their people, the owners, more financially resilient. So that is, we're putting insurance contracts in place that are designed to keep that business trading even when the worst happens. So a business owner might get ill, another key member of staff might get ill, the debts might be called in. There's all sorts of different reasons why a company might want to speak to us. But this is what's really interesting. So we've done an exercise recently, and I wanted to talk to you about today what we've done and why we've done it. Because we kind of really wanted to understand what are the key barriers for bookkeepers to discuss these types of things with their clients. Why are IAB members not proactively referring more of their clients over to us for this type of support? And we wanted to understand that, right? And we understand that you guys probably, from a philosophical point of view, understand why we do what we do and the benefits of what we do and the values that we stand for. You know, we learned that the brand messaging is probably right in terms of, ethos, values. But I think what we learned was that bookkeepers probably need to understand very closely, very specifically, how we can actually help your customers, what we do in terms of what we offer, and then specifically like a call to action. So what we understand we haven't done very well is help you guys understand how you work with us, how you might need our help, or what it is you might want from us. And so what we did is we decided to speak to some bookkeepers. So at this point, I would just like to say a huge thank you in particular to Karen Hollis of KLP bookkeeping, sorry, and Sharon Carter of Sharon Carter Bookkeeping, because those guys have helped us in our research. So we decided to meet with these guys. We asked them a load of questions. We posed a load of questions about what we do, what they see about what we do, how they feel about what we do, what we can do to help you guys, how we can make it easy as possible for you guys to work with us, and easy for you to identify your clients and send them over to us so we can make them more financially secure. Now, the insights we learned during these meetings and these sessions with both Karen and Sharon were absolutely invaluable. In fact, I think Sujay will tell you, I was bouncing up and down with excitement when I sort of got the feedback and started sending over details of what we're going to be doing. Because for me, the key isn't what it is we're trying to offer. It's not about what products we can do or how we help your clients. It's about how you understand you can help your clients and how you can encourage them to come over and speak to us. So even some things as simple as how you even have the conversation and when you have it with the conversation. So we want to try and make it as humanly possible or easy as humanly possible for you guys. And so the reason we're doing all of this, guys, is because protecting your clients and ultimately protecting your own businesses is incredibly important, right? You know, we're having these conversations. We've got small to medium businesses out there. They are the backbone of our economy. And it's really important that you guys protect both your clients and yourselves. And at the end of the day, financial resilience isn't just a buzzword or a fancy phrase that we should be throwing around. It's something that's really quite essential and something we all need to focus on and probably aspire towards in these challenging times. So it's really interesting to think about what we've been doing. And we know that you guys are probably less interested in the fluffy stuff, right? Oh, well, why do we do what we do and the ethos behind what we do? You know, we learned probably that a specific approach is going to be more favorable than a general one, for example. So instead, what you want from us, from the feedback we got from Karen and Sharon, is specific examples, case studies, content. You know, one of the things we talked about was that it's quite hard to know how and when to bring it up with your clients, or even which clients might need our help or why. And so it's very easy for me to sit here and in a very generic way say, well, every client you've got really ought to be referred because we can do our job and look at whether they need help. But I know that doesn't help you guys. And so what Karen and Sharon were saying to us, and quite rightly, is actually what you need is almost specific instructions about which types of clients. And the problem was for me as a business owner, that kind of is a bit like, well, you know, maybe that's kind of like narrowing the opportunity, but I recognize that's not the case at all. What it's doing is helping give you guys specific areas of focus to look at when you're chatting to your customers, understanding which ones really need our help or not. And so what we've decided to do, it's really exciting, is off the back of this, we've decided to create a very easy to use, handy decision tree tool that you guys can then use to go through with your customers and identify if the customers need help or not. Now, it's going to be an interactive version. So there's going to be a version that we're going to put online. I think you'll be able to access it through the IAB portal as well. But actually, what we're also going to be doing, which is going to be really, really interesting, is we're going to do a paper version that we're going to send out as part of the IAB Connect magazine. So you guys have got a paper version sat in front of you on your desks that you can use with each and every client that you speak to. And you'll be able to go through it with the client and go through it together, and it's going to provide that logical conclusion as to whether the client needs help or not. Now, the good news is if the client is financially secure or if they don't need our help, it's going to tell you as such. And then you can tick the box and say, okay, brilliant, fantastic, really good. But if there is a need that's identified, if there's a specific situation or scenario that means the client really does benefit from speaking to us, or that there needs to be some sort of referral because there's an obvious, clear, identifiable financial risk, it's going to make it very easy for you to then refer them over to us because it's going to provide that consistent and that easy access so that you can measure the level of financial vulnerability for each of your clients each and every day. Like I say, we're going to do that digital version that we'll be able to access, but also that paper version that we'll send out alongside IAB Connect in the magazine very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And it's going to include some instructions on how to use it as well. One of the other really interesting things that came out of the meetings with Sharon and Karen was this idea of explainer videos, right? That we thought it'd be really useful to have a series of videos that cover all the different scenarios, all the different types of industries, all the different types of client, sole trader, limited company, all those types of things, partnerships, the lot. And then what we're going to do is produce a series of videos, and they're going to be in two different series. The one is do you have, and the other one's going to be why would you? So the do you have is going to be, do you have clients that fit this particular scenario? And then if you do, they'd probably benefit from speaking to us, and we'll give a little reason why. And the other one's going to be why would you? So why would you want to refer a client like this over? And that's going to include things like, you know, benefit you, benefit them, the commission that you can earn from doing so. So all this is about providing information and guidance to you guys in a very simple way, using these very short, snappy videos. They're going to help you guys understand how you can work with us, better understand how you can help your clients and what you need to do. Now, they're definitely going to help you because you know, it's going to make it so much easier for you to relate and so much clearer for you guys as to which types of clients really need to speak to us. And the good news is hopefully these short, snappy videos are going to feature on the IB social feeds too. So they'll be really easy to access, and we'll give you them, you know, roll them out across the social feeds all the while. So yeah, it'll be very, very accessible. We'll be providing a series of updates around these various different initiatives throughout the rest of the year and through the IB. So please stay tuned and keep your eyes peeled for those. But it goes without saying, we're super excited because I think this feedback's been really imperative in terms of us understanding how we can better support you guys, how we can better work with you guys, and what we can do to support you. So the other thing to think about is case studies. We recognize that, you know, the perception of what we do might be that our insurance policies might be very expensive, when in actual fact, they're often not. So we're going to put together a number of case studies and things that you guys can see. So you'll be able to see how they might benefit your clients, and also how cost effectively they can be. So we'll provide a couple of little examples as to how they might be more cost effective than you might initially realize. And that, if I'm being really honest with you, is pretty much it. I just think it just leaves me to say thank you very much to Karen and Sharon for their amazing support. It was honestly invaluable for us to understand how the bookkeepers work, how you guys are working day in, day out, and what we can do to help support you. And it just means that everything we do moving forward is going to be far more focused and hopefully far more practical in terms of helping you guys understand how you can refer your clients over and which types of clients might benefit from speaking to us. But I'll leave it open to you guys. If you've got any questions, if there's anything that anyone wants to ask me about what we do, or when these things might be coming out. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you going to ask us what type of clients you want, Matthew?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So
What kind of clients do you want?
Well, to be honest, it's one of those really weird things. And as I said before, you know, when I was meeting with Karen and Sharon, I was like, oh, we want all clients. But the truth of it is, there's a few clients that are really, really helpful. So limited clients are often the best. So limited company clients are often the best, mainly because you've got the separate entity. So because you've got that separate legal entity, it's very easy for us to sort of look at tax efficient ways in which we can set up insurances for clients. So we almost distinguish the two types of products that we offer into business continuity and employee benefits, right? So that's the best way of thinking about it. So if you've got limited company business owners, even if they're one-man bands, right, it's very easy for us to put their cover on expenses, which means that we can take advantage of things like the relevant life plans, executive income protection contracts, so that what they can do is arrange their personal cover through the business and enjoy the tax relief that they get from that. So that's one thing that you can consider, which is a great way of helping clients. But generally speaking, limited companies are really important, because often when someone incorporates a limited company, it's because they tend to see that they're growing, they're bringing staff in. And so really, this is about helping customers understand what they can do to safeguard their goals and objectives for the business. Because I think the one thing we all forget is that everybody goes into business for a reason, right? You know, we all kind of get up and we set up a business for a reason, including yourselves. You know, you've set up your practices, you want to do it. There's usually a reason, whether that's income or, you know, independence, or whether you're growing towards, you know, moving through those various different phases that you have in the business. I remember going to the Accountex thing, and we watched the presentation from Sarah, and it was brilliant because she was talking about that very thing, wasn't she, about moving through, you know, the quadrant that she's put together. And I think that's really, really interesting, because if you think about your clients, many of them will be in different stages of that same quadrant. And so it's understanding where are they and what's the next phase that they're moving into, and what we can do to help build that stability to enable them to achieve it with the minimum amount of risk possible. So, but answer to your question, and it is a great question, limited companies are the sweet spot for us, because whether it's a one-man band, 100% single owner, two owners, multiple owners, doesn't matter. Limited companies are usually the sweet spot for us because we can do so much for them. There's just so much more to play for.
Yeah. Good. Right.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Not at all.
Is there a video somewhere of Sarah's talk? I think there's one on YouTube somewhere. CJ, you'll know more than that. Thank you, Matt. I'm just looking for questions, but nobody's coming up with any.
Not a problem.
Other than the one that I asked.
Not a problem. Like I say, to be honest with you, the purpose of this one on the coffee morning today wasn't for me to sort of like push the solutions or push the products or what we do. It was more just to explain what we've been doing in the background, why we've been doing it, and the fact that we're going to be making some really exciting initiatives in the next few months and weeks, and we'll just be keeping you guys posted as and when they're ready.
Well, I'll look forward. I'll keep an eye on social media, and I'll look forward to it.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me again, as always.
You're welcome. I'm a little bit sorry, CJ. Is Kerry or Sarah coming on for HMRC updates?
I did just email.
Bouncing back to you.
I did just email Kerry to see if there are any HMRC updates. But I haven't heard any anything back. So yeah, happy to pass back to me for a few minutes. I can quickly talk about ambassador groups.
Yeah, please.
And yeah, just answer any questions that anyone else has. Yeah.
There's no questions coming up. And we're 20 minutes early, which is unlike us because the last few coffee mornings we've overrun.
Hello,
Yeah.
sorry, it's me. Suji, I
there
didn't
you
see
go,
your email.
Kerry.
Sorry, I am here.
No, it's fine. We're a bit early anyway, so are you all
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, all good, thank you. There has been a new employer bulletin that has come out since the last coffee morning. So really that's the main thing to perhaps draw everyone's attention to. I won't go through it in depth as such. It's the July 24 edition, so you just need to Google the employer bulletin on gov.uk. Some really good information on there as always, just with the updates that they're working on at the moment. So I'll pop the link in the chat if you like.
Yes, and then I
It's
can
now-
read it out.
To be honest, if you just Google gov.uk employer bulletin, that will take you rather than read out the whole link.
All right, thank you.
So really, yeah, if you could just draw your attention to that because it's got some really good information about the P11D reporting, national insurance contributions, just really, as always, just some really good information.
Is that all HMRC have been up to?
To be honest, I've only just started going back onto some forums. There was a couple of forums during the election, so actually those meetings are only beginning to commence. I've got some in September. Aidan's already touched on MTD ITSA, and of course everything that they've gone through today is still, as far as we're aware, proceeding. There's been no further updates on that as such.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Kerry. Back to you, CJ. Have you anything else?
Nothing major, to be honest, but just a little update around ambassador groups. We've had a few ambassadors leave and some new ones join. So we have been shuffling groups around, but Carol's just messaged me to say that she hasn't heard back from one of the groups that I've put her in. So I will chase that. But if anyone is struggling to join a group, or if they're not sure what's going on with their group, please do feel free to email me. I'll put my email address in the chat box, and I will get that sorted. So let me just do that now. So yeah, please feel free to pop it drop an email to me. Other than that, I don't really have anything. So we can give you a few minutes back in your day today.
Right, I'm going to read out what Aidan's put in because he's put Leanne's email from previous meetings, which people might not have. So it's leanne.ogden@gosimpleTax.co.uk, and then Ellis is ellis@getcoconut.com if anybody wants to email them rather than scan the code. And then Sujay's put his email in, which is sujp@iab.org.uk. So yeah, so if anybody wants that, and then yeah, we'll finish nice and early, as it's August and the kids are off school and yeah, everybody's in summer mode. So our next meeting is the 18th of September at 11 o'clock, and I look forward to seeing you all then. All right, thank you very much.
Guys. Thank you all.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.